Welcome, everybody. It's the Phil Friedman Outdoors Radio Show. Now every Friday right here at 2 p.m. Today, it's the Freshwater Report. This is the Freshwater Report, but we've got a huge weekend in store. Craig Elliott from Corona Lake and Santa Ana River Lakes will be here. Again, I am so fortunate to tell you that my co-host, Will Ebersman, is here to join me today. Will, great to have you on the Freshwater Show.
Hey, Phil, always great to be here. As Phil said, it's a beautiful afternoon out here. Cool, crisp, a little bit of a breeze. A little too bright for trout fishing, but we could have knocked that off in the morning with the overcast. And I wanted to issue a big hello to all of our listeners out on the World Wide Web. So good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, Will's right, and there are thousands of you every single week, and it's growing, and we're stoked that this is going so well. Hey, a quick word from one of our great sponsors here, and then we're going to come back with Craig Elliott and a lot of big trout in just a moment. Well, I'm hoping that Craig Elliott's on the line because I'll tell you what, Craig has his finger on the pulse of some big trout for us all the time. Craig, welcome to Phil Friedman Outdoors Radio.
Hey, Phil, thank you for having me on. As always, I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and everybody out there. You've got a great show going on, and I'm glad that it's building. Hope that it gets bigger and bigger for you because you've always been around and involved in fishing, whether it's salt or freshwater, and you've really been kind of the voice of reason and information. So I appreciate everything you've done and hope everything goes really well for you and keeps growing.
Oh, thank you so much, Craig. That means a lot to me coming from you. And a part of the reason why I think we have so many listeners is that we have quality guests on the show like you, and you have been talking about some magnificent trout. And we've talked about the future at Santa Ana River Lakes, and we've talked about Corona, and it's only going to get better in the years to come. But what's going on right now at the lakes? Are they still biting, and how's the bite been?
Oh, it's been unbelievable. What we do every single week without fail is we stock thousands and thousands of trout. We videotape the fish going in every Thursday, and we run back, edit it, and throw it up on our website that evening so that you can actually see the quality and quantity of trout that go in and see, where they're stocked. And last week, it was just mind-blowing. It really was. It was just huge trout after huge trout after huge trout. And, they're so big that we have to get a broom and almost gently push them, down the ramp and out into the water. And I don't know if it was Friday or Saturday, but in one day there was a fish. Here was the lineup of fish caught. There was a 20-pound, 12-ounce fish, an 18-pound trout, a 16.5-pound trout, two 15-pound trout, 10 3/4, 10 1/4, 10s, and it just went on and on. And
I think that deserves some applause.
And some people said, is that a record for one day? And I says, I don't know. We don't keep track. It's kind of funny. We've spoiled a lot of fishermen over the years, and, we almost laugh sometimes when we say, God, that's a beautiful trout. You want to hold that up for a photo? Oh, no, it's not over 10 pounds. I can't be seen with a fish. It's over 10 pounds. And these guys, we get emails from people all over the country saying, we can't believe the opportunity of fishing that you guys have in Southern California. We're thrilled if we get a 14-inch trout. And we watch what you guys are doing on a weekly basis and how many pounds of fish to stock. Can we come? Is there any place that we can stay when we go to Disneyland and come on vacation? Can we come and fish this lake? And so...
It is unbelievable, and the fact that you have everything on video, from the trout stocking to everything else. I mean, there's no games, there's no smoke and mirrors here. It's the real deal.
Oh, it is, and that's the way we want it, and that's how we run things. It's a straight-up business. If we can't do business legitimately and straight up and honestly, then we're just not going to do it. And that's the way we've always been, and that's the way it'll always be. And that's part of the stocking video reason. We says, what's better than, what you see. Seeing is believing, and so we stock the fish. We let you see them. They all go in, and they come out. That's the other thing. It's not all hat and no cattle. People see the fish go in, and they see them come out. And one of the things that we do on a daily basis is we take photos of all these big fish and post them as soon as possible up on our website and on our Facebook site. Our Facebook site is really growing leaps and bounds, and and we've done a lot of neat things. One of the things that I mentioned last time is that we were starting a Fishing Video Stars promotion where you guys go out with your small cameras, your GoPros, whether it's in a tube or a kayak or a boat or just off the shore, and you film your videos and you submit them directly to us. We put them on our website, on our Facebook site, and it's for everybody to look at. But the neat thing is that after, I forget the date, but probably in a month or so, when we have a whole bunch of videos, we're going to select the top 20. And then we're going to allow you guys to vote on those top 20 and pick out which are the top 5 videos. And we've got some tremendous prizes lined up, you know, like float tubes from Outcast, Phoenix fishing rods, you know, GoPro cameras, all kinds of stuff. And all that information is on our website. And it's really fun. People are submitting all kinds of just unbelievable videos. They're so fun to watch. The guys are being so creative. You know, they're filming underwater. You're seeing the trout. Guys running up and down the bank under and over rods, bringing in these great big huge fish, and it's just really turned out to be a fun thing. And I'm really glad we're doing it because it's made our website and our Facebook page very, very interactive, and people are having a great time commenting on them. And so it's really neat. You know, a lot of guys are trying to get one from the shore, one from a boat, one from a kayak, and so forth. And you can submit as many as you want. You don't have to have the best equipment or the best camera or the best anything. Just do your best, and we're going to select, of those 20, we're going to select it from all, you know, skill levels. So we're not going to just pick the very best ones or the ones that with the guys that have the best equipment, the best cameras and all that stuff. No, we're going to pick them from all skill levels and from one from the shore or 2 from a boat or what have you. And it's going to be really fun. So it's turning out to be great. It's very interactive on our website and on our Facebook page, and it's really neat. But one of the things that we've got – go ahead, Phil.
Go ahead. I was going to say I love the idea from a marketing perspective, but the interactive quality of that, Craig, you know, you've got your customers who are having so much fun, and there's some creative people out there that are doing some fine work, isn't there?
Yeah, really. You know, it is fun. Just instead of watching TV, you can come to our website or our Facebook page and watch what you love, fishing, and watch the creative ways and the music. And a lot of these guys, you know, they're really artists in many senses. A lot of guys are musicians or playing bands, and they're using their own music for a lot of the background music, and it's great. One of the guys, Wes, He's been a long-time fisherman at our lakes, and he has his own band, and he put the soundtrack to it one he just sent the other day, and it was really great. It's I don't know what you would call it, but it was kind of beer-drinking music, and you know, if I still drank, I probably could have put a pint or two away just watching it.
You and me both. Hey, I wanted to ask you, is there any difference in the bite between Corona and Santa Ana River? Is it about the same? Is there one that you recommend over the other? And you're talking about these fish coming out of the lake. What are they coming out on? I know a lot of people are listening right now, and they're saying, okay, 10-plus pound trout, I want to get one. How do I do it? So which lake is better if there is one, and what do anglers need to be using right now to have success?
Well, that's always the big question with fishing. It's a mystery. You just don't know. You know, both of the lakes are stocked, you know, very, very heavy, and both of them get big, big fish. And it really depends upon the angler. It depends on the day. You know, we always say that, you know, fishing is fishing. It's not called catching. And, you know, it's really between the angler and the fish as to what's going to happen that day. All we can do is heavily stock the fish. We don't have a button that we can push to get them to bite. I wish we did sometimes, but that's just the way it is. A lot of the fish have been coming out on, a lot of them are on jigs, these small plastics, a lot of trout worms. The new hatchery dust that Lip Rippers came out with, they're rolling it on their dough baits. It makes any bait a lot better. We can't keep it on the shelves. Every guy that goes out, and there's, I think, 5 different flavors, and they're trying them all out. It's really, really working well. What it is, you know, they've always said, I wish I could fish with a hatchery pellet and I'd catch fish all day. Well, they're hard. You can't stick them to a hook. But now you can, because what it is basically a it's a concentrated version of a hatchery pellet. They took out all the fillers like the corn or the soy or the chicken feathers or whatever might have been in it to bulk it up, and it's just a concentrated version of what the hatchery food is. And they added garlic to it and or cheese and mealworm and night crawler, so there's all those different flavors. But you just roll it on your dough bait, and the fish that are in the water that have been living or eating or smelling this hatchery blend all their lives, they get out on these lakes and, they're not fed every day. And they get a whiff of that, and, man, they just jump on top of it. So that's been really good. If you guys are dough bait fishermen, definitely get some of that stuff.
Hey, my co-host Will Eversman had a question for you.
Sure.
Hey, are there any we're talking about dough baits. Are there any really popular colors that work? Green, chartreuse, rainbow, orange, with or without glitter. Are there any that seem to be consistent in the morning or the evening?
You just hit on something, because it's strange. It'll change. In the morning, guys will fish with green or rainbow, and then sometimes it'll shut off, and then they'll switch over to orange or yellow, and all of a sudden, boom, it'll come back on. So it's fishing. You just always have to change things up. Things will work for a while, and then it'll change, and that's just the way it is. Usually on brighter days, or like you mentioned, sunnier, brighter days, your colors like white and yellow and orange will work a little bit better. Darker overcast, your darker color baits seem to work better. But I always start off with a chartreuse and or a rainbow. That's a good way to start, and good colors to use. So. And
for the guys that throw jigs, are they having better success with like the little chrome or silver cast masters, or the gold? Is there one color that seems to be better than another, or a color combination? Which one's the hot ticket?
Again, it's not a daily thing. You have to change it up. Sometimes silver works great. Other times gold works great. Most of our guys have a whole assortment of different colors, and they'll just start throwing until they start hitting. And you can't rely on one color all the time.
And that's what makes this game so interesting, Craig. You just never know what you're going to catch, what's going to be effective. It just adds to the mystery, and it's fun to go out there and try to unravel that mystery every single time you're at the lake.
Yeah, that is what's fun. It is a challenge. It's between you and the fish and trying to figure it out. And, some of our best fishermen tell us, it's the little teeny things that you change that makes all the difference in the world. The pound test on your leader is huge. I always say that. Don't fish over 4 pounds, or you're just not going to get bit. If you do, you're lucky. I've got guys that fish 2 pound all day long, and that's what they catch these big fish on. And they're set up with the right kind of rod and the right kind of reel. They've spent a little bit of money on them, and it takes the shock out of the line. Even though those huge fish are just ripping the line out of the reels, they know what they're doing. They've got the right equipment. They've got their drag adjusted properly, and they've got a long rod that takes a lot of the, tension off of the line, and they play them. I wished I had the comment of the guy that caught the 20-pound fish, almost 21-pound fish. He said it was the most frightening experience of his life, and it was 45 minutes long, and he was just thrilled because of all of the help the shore anglers helped. He says, they were really a class act. They knew I had a big fish. It was the biggest fish I've ever caught, let alone trout. But he says, these guys got out of my way. They reeled up their lines, and one of the guys was just an expert net handler, and he said if it wasn't for his help and the cooperation and the spirit around him while he was fishing, he says there was no way I would have ever landed that trout. So he was so appreciative. But he said it was the most terrifying 45 minutes of his life.
I know exactly what he means too, man. You just, you got this huge trophy, you're going to lose it, and you're worried about it. It's really great stuff. Hey, listen, Craig, if we want to get in touch with you or jump on your Facebook page or internet, phone numbers, give us some contact information, please.
Hey, real quick before I finish, we've got a huge tournament coming up this weekend at Santa Ana River Lakes. It's the first tournament that we've held at Santa Ana River Lakes. Typically we do some events, but this is a money tournament. You guys can get in. It's on Saturday. It's first, second, and third place. Plus we have a blind bogey that will award 10 different prizes. And so you guys have been asking for tournaments, money tournaments, competition, and so we're going to give it to you. And we're going to try to do them, at least our goal is to do 2 a month. And we're going to rotate back and forth between Santa Ana River Lakes and Corona Lake. All of the money that comes in, 100% of the money goes back to the anglers. We don't take a rake. We don't take anything off of it. Everything goes back, plus the donated sponsor prizes also go back. So it's really like more than 100%.
Excellent. Man, that sounds fun. And that's going to be on Saturday?
Saturday at Santa Ana River Lakes, you bet. It's a $20 buy-in. You don't have you can come fishing. You don't have to be into the tournament. But typically our tournaments have a lot of people that come, and if we only have 200 people that sign up, first place will be $1,000 in cash, second will be $600, and third will be, I think, $400. And we're going to have a blind bogey where 10 winners will be awarded, just, again, with only 200 people showing up. Each one will win $200. Plus, lip rippers will be there handing out a bunch of their new lip ripper swag for their new hatchery dust shirts and trust in dust hats and all that good stuff. So it'll be a great event at Santa Ana River Lakes. Man, that sounds like a blast. And if we want to get in touch with you on your website, Facebook page, how do we do it, Craig? It's fishinglakes.com. That's fishinglakes with an S.com. All right. Hey, Craig, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to be on Phil Friedman Outdoors Radio every Wednesday at 2 p.m., the Freshwater Show, and we expect you to be part of it. Great. Thanks, Phil. I really appreciate the time. All right. Craig Elliott, everybody.